Oh, I like and then pass them on to the text. Yeah. There's so many different levels. I think you're about to listen. No, it's pretty good. So supplies. Yeah, it's not.
My son actually very strong.
Very well, how are you doing?
Because I've been trying to keep up with this.
Yeah.
My but then to go to TBI. And although she said that I know she needs it, that she wanted to see with the commercial, we were supposed to actually see the musician 2 months ago. So yeah, it's just been like, it's been such a joy. We just want to get.
It's not from the same design. It's like, yeah.
I feel like I'm wondering.
The lights go all the way. Yes, you're right, I guess the lights are getting popular. Oh, makes it well.
Oh, okay.
So it's with the very traditional words of Shalom Aleichem that we want to welcome you all here this evening on this very cold and very dark Melbourne night into what we hope will be a very warm and very bright celebration of Shabbat. We began with the words of Shalom Aleichem, which talk about these ministering angels visiting blessing upon us, on our family and our community. And before we move forward into our celebration of those blessings and our celebration of Shabbat, it behoves us to recognize that just as we join our voices together to celebrate our people's tradition, so too do we want to acknowledge traditional owners and first inhabitants of the land on which we gather, the Wurundjeri and Wurrung people of the East Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and evolving, that they hold the memories, traditions, cultures and hopes of First Nations people across this land. May the time soon come when their voices is heard and when we can genuinely sit together as equals. For our tradition teaches us very clearly, how good it is when we can sit together as friends. We're on the face of page 4. I invite you to join with us. So as well as welcoming you here and readying ourselves to welcome Shabbat, I also want to acknowledge that we are in a really significant liminal period in the Jewish year. The period between Pesach and Shavuot is 49 days, these 7 weeks, these 7 times 7, is the period of the Omer, which is, has always been, for thousands of years, has been a time of reflection, a time of refocus, for some, a time of mourning, and for us this year, a particularly challenging time as we grapple once more with these seasons and these practices that have been with the Jewish people for so long, in a time that feels just so remarkably different. Punctuating the first half of the Omer in modern times are new observances. beginning first this Sunday evening and Monday with Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Memorial Day, and we'll do a short Tekes Zikaron as part of our Kabbalat Shabbat service, as part of our Holocaust remembrance. And then in the week that follows into Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut, which we'll observe and celebrate as part of our Shabbat next week. But all of this amidst a time where our sanctuary, as well as our hearts, are decorated with these butterflies that allow us to think of those who are either at war or who are in captivity. Both of these things which occupy so much of our hearts and our souls. We're going to hold these things tight as we turn to the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, which begin on page 5. Across page 5 and 6, we have the first three of the traditional Psalms of Shabbat, Psalms 95, 96, and 97. Just a verse or two from each that have been gifted to us by tradition to allow us to stop and think about the week that was, and allow us to gradually get ready to embrace Shabbat. Each of our melodies have a really accessible entry point. The Hebrew is not overly comfortable for you. Either a word or a refrain, beginning with Page 6. The Psalms of Kabbalah Shabbat are intended to force us to not just move through the day and the week without pause, but to arrive at Shabbat having at least thought about the week, not thought about Shabbat. Each of the Psalms challenge us to think about the week that was. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. All the blessings we experienced, and then the other stuff that life keeps throwing our way. On page 7, we have Psalm 98, 99, and 29. Or as I like to call them, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So as we stand on the precipice of Shabbat, we turn the page and find before us the traditional words of the Chabadi, this beautiful piyut, a love song about Shabbat. I invite you to join with us as we offer just a selection of the verses 2, 5, 8, and 9. Rise and face the door to welcome Shabbat. So having offered the 6 psalms that take us through the week that was, L'Chavodi, which gets us literally to the door to welcome Shabbat in, before we offer some words from Ms. Moshe, Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. I want to invite those of you who may not have another opportunity this evening, if you'd like to kindle some lights for Shabbat, light some Shabbat lamps, they are just on entry into the Shtiebel. You're welcome to join Jody in doing that if you would like. Otherwise, we're in the middle of page 9. Hallelujah. It's a pretty easy refrain. Hallelujah. 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 Shabbat Shalom. As we turn forward to page 10 and 11, share a machloket, a conversation, debate that Tammy and I were having. We knew it felt appropriate that we pause for a little while to reflect on the anniversary that will be observed Sunday evening and Monday through Yom HaShoah. But But the question that we had was, we knew we were going to do it, but where in this crazy world that we live in is the right time to do it? On pages 10 and 11, traditionally between Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv, is the time we offer Kaddish Yatom. And for the past almost 7 months, we've been pausing before memorial, before remembrance, to think about those whose fate is still unknown. In various different ways, we, since October 7th, have been pausing at this point in our service to show our kinship and our fellowship with all of those that are suffering. The innocent, as well as the captive. And a series of traditions developed, as has happened in communities all over the world. And over the last few months, we've connected with the missing and hostages family forum in Israel, and gave birth to this project, Project Butterfly, to these remarkable bags of butterflies. Yellow reminding us of the yellow ribbon of the hostages that found their way to Pesach tables all over the city and all over the world, in fact. And we found in our service appropriately the need to express hope before remembrance. It's a characteristic that has given our people strength throughout the centuries, and one that even in dark and difficult times we're not going to let go of. Which means that this evening we will pause to send prayers of hope to those who are missing and those who are captive, and through them to those that are working to bring about a peaceful and, please God, speedily end to this conflict. And then we will think about past conflicts, kindle the lights of Yom HaShoah, and then think about loved ones who we've lost in our own lives through the recitation of Kaddish Yatom. It's a lot. Perhaps that's what we were chosen for, to carry a lot. The words on the wall in Hebrew over there come to us from the Machzor Victory, 11th century Machzor prepared by the Jews of Eastern Europe for their high holiday observance. And in the midst of it, in a world where they knew about hostages and captives and missing, when they lived in very dark times, they penned this prayer. We reprise it in a melody which has become popular in recent times in Israel, as we think about all of those on the other side of the world. Our brothers, the whole house of Israel. All who are distressed in captivity, standing between the sea and the dry land. Eternal one of mercy, have compassion upon them, bring them out of distress to relief, from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption, now and swiftly in our time. I invite you to rise with me as we kindle these memorial lights.
We kindle these lights in memory of the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. May the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. Zichronam Livracha. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed is the heart with the strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Words of Hannah Sench.
We're going to continue with some more words of Hannah Sench. Words of Eli, Eli. Sorry, the words are not in the prayer books.
I pray that these things never stand and see the rush of the waters, the crash of the waves, the prayer of the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the waves, the prayer of the Lord.
I was thinking of the appropriate reading to add to this text as a Karon, when ultimately there is nothing ever that seems appropriate. So perhaps this is just fitting, if not appropriate. Words of German theologian Pastor Martin Niemöller, written in 1942. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. I said a few moments ago, we'll offer Kaddish Yotam twice. First as part of this text, and then to allow opportunities for personal memorial. This adaptation of the words of Kaddish Yotam, this ancient prayer of remembrance, is attributed to Eli Bisa. Yikadal,
Auschwitz,
V'yitkadash,
Lodge,
Shmei Rabba,
Hana,
Ba'alma Divra V'rechiotei,
Babia,
V'yamlich Malchutei,
Yadanik,
V'chayechon V'nechon,
Birkenau,
Devrei, Dechol Beit Yisrael,
Kogno,
Baal, Zman Kariv,
Janowska,
Ve'imru,
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach La'olam Amei Amayah, Yiparach V'yishtabach,
Reisenstadt,
Yitadar V'yitaromam,
Buchenwald,
Yitaseh V'yitadar,
Blinkla,
Yitalei V'yitalal,
Vilna,
Shmei Dekodisha Brichu,
Bergen-Belsen,
Leila,
Mauthausen,
Kol Brachata V'shirata,
Dachau,
Tushbachata V'nechemata,
Minsk,
Taminan Ba'alma
Oslo,
V'imru,
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabba Mishmashai V'chayim Aleinu V'akol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom V'nomav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'akol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. And then as we turn to those same words presented in a different form of memorial, rather than those who we do not know, those who we have known and who we have loved. If you are remembering someone who passed in the last 7 days and observing the period of Shiva, then I invite you to share their name now. You're observing the period of Shoshim, the first 30 days since the loss of a loved one. You feel comfortable, I invite you to share their name. We extend our remembrance out, as our people have done for millennia, one step further, thinking of those who passed in the last 12 months, whose anniversary of their passing has not yet arrived. If you are in the period of Avelot and would like to share the name of a loved one, and I invite you to do so now. And then we think about those whose yortzites we're observing, whose passing has occurred, whose anniversary of their passing has fallen in this period following Pesach in years gone by. If you have the name of a loved one that you'd like to remember for yortzeit, then I invite you to share their name. It's mine, it's me, yours.
Jacob Lauer, Rebecca Green.
If it is your custom, I invite you to join with me in the recitation of Kaddish on page 11. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shomer Haba, b'amad yivrach v'tei, tamlich malchotei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman karev v'imru, yehei Shmei Haba v'barach v'olam amen, yiparach v'shtabach v'pa'ah v'torman v'tnaseh, v'tada v'talei v'talav Shmei v'kodeshah, v'elam mikol v'chata v'shirata, Tushvachata v'nechemata, Tamirat ma'amah v'imru amen. Shemanu v'baruch Shemai, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'akol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the heavens above bring peace to all of us, to all humanity, but particularly bring peace and blessing to those who we remember this Shabbat.
Oseh shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. 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 Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael.
We remain standing in time to pay the call to prayer.
Baruch et Adonai levorach, Baruch et Adonai levorach, le'olam va'ed.
As we are seated, we continue now with the evening prayer. Please join me in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'alif harabim, v'chokhmah pateach sha'arim, ובפניו משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, בשבועותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולה אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומבדיל יום ובין לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד, ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, ומעריב ערבים. Avat Olam Beit Israel, everlasting love, you have loved the people of Israel. Torah, mitzvot, laws, precepts you have taught us. Therefore, our eternal one, when we lie down and when we rise up, we shall speak your commandments and rejoice in your Torah and your mitzvot forever. For they are our life in the length of our days. We meditate on them day and night. Never remove your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai. Have a more Israel, Blessed you, Eternal One, who loves the people of Israel. Foot to the facing page. Our prayer of redemption as well as reconciliation can be found on page 16. And while there is so much in the world that has challenged and in some cases changed us, we have not and will not lose our hope, lose our aspiration for both redemption and reconciliation. And so this mashup remains extraordinarily appropriate. Blessed you, Eternal One, Redeemer of Israel. On page 17, we have before us the words of the Shtiebel, it is our bedtime prayer. It's perhaps the most simple and possibly the most important of all of our prayers, a simple one that says, give us the strength to lay our heads down at night to rest, and the privilege to rise up the next morning renewed. Baruch atah Adonai shomea amo Yisrael la'ad. Blessed you, Eternal One. The shelter of peace is spread over us, and over all humanity forever. On page 18, and those that follow, we arrive at Amidah, and those of you who are joining us for the first time will note that we linger on Kabbalat Shabbat and then move at a bit of a pace through Ma'ariv. Not because the prayers are less important, but rather Shabbat that we come here to celebrate. And that's what we do together, and Ma'ariv is a lot of what we do individually and respectfully. We're going to open up the Amidah together. If it is your custom, you're comfortable, I'm going to invite you to rise with me in just a few moments, with the first words on the top of page 18, and then we're going to continue in silent prayer, reflection, or meditation through to the base of page 26. You should feel free to be seated whenever you feel comfortable. the words of our mouths and the meditations of our heart be acceptable to you, our rock and our redeemer. And so we bring our tefillah to a close with the Sion tefillah. It is also, some might say, a reading appropriate for Yom HaShoah, as it was penned by the child who so tragically lost her life to that evil by Anne Frank. But I would contend that it's a rare and a reading that is larger than hate and larger than remembrance. It's a prayer about hope. It's a prayer to live our lives much as we can with the best of intentions. And then when we aren't able to meet those intentions, to try as hard as we can to return ourselves to that course. It's entitled In Spite of Everything, and it's written by Anne Frank. This version is found in the Shabbat. It really is a wonder that I haven't dropped all my ideals, because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them, because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. I still simply cannot build my hopes on a foundation of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder. I can feel the suffering of millions, and yet if I look up into the heavens, I think it will all come out right one of these days. That this cruelty will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again. In the meantime, I must hold on to my ideals, for perhaps the day will come, by Yom Hahu, when I shall be able to carry them out. So before we conclude our services with the words of Hayasham, Itchadesh, which can be found on the base of that page, and we offer Kiddush and Motzi, just a word or two about things that are happening in the next few weeks. Coming through the Omer, but there's really a lot happening before we get to Shavuot. A host of celebrations of Simchas, some of which are open to the community. We have the next second edition of Live at Shtiebel, which is a celebration of Jewish art and artists. It's a wonderful opportunity for music and spoken word, because comedy this time too, which is coming up on May the 18th. It's a wonderful opportunity. Jody, you singing is not the comedy. There's someone else.
Oh, it is.
Okay, well it is. I'm just looking up to teams. It's a real opportunity to participate. And there really is so much more happening, whether it be through our food pantry, through our Knitting Together program, through our educational offerings. May is going to be a massive month, and we hope a good month, not just for us, but for all people. Shali Kadesh, then into Kiddush and Motzi, and I should be back by Kiddush and Motzi. I have a costume change for live Shabbos dinner at the MCG this evening. Very, very soon. People don't laugh at me, but the ability to be able to be in a community like this that recognises that as important for me to bring in Shabbat as it is to sit next to my son at football. I could do without sitting next to my brother, but the evening's going to have that as well. Please rise for the English. ויקרא שמיים הארץ וכל ספם, ויקרא אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מקום מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו. כי שבת מקום מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם ובורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה שבת קודשו באהבה וברצון מבחינת הזיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. הבנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון, הנחתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. The words?
Yeah. Amatzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. B'tzei avod.
Do we take over five or that?
No, you don't.
We might get in trouble
Stop it.
Yes, is that your son? Yes, my son. Absolutely, you want to be that this is my daughter. Somebody said it like it, right?
Because kids are able to explain that I'm still a mother, I was okay with changing my name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Religious, I didn't want to change my name.
Yeah.
That's my maiden name, I was Campbell.
Yeah, like that, you say for a little kid.
Yeah, so it's that I can change.
It's just so funny,
That is very wrong. Actually. I can't believe that.
I mean, like, like, that's a quick, tell it, yeah.
Well, I told him I made you guys shirts. He's gonna think it's really funny when he knows you. Yeah. He sold me shirts. I'm like, oh, they're my friends in Shtiebel. They're new friends. They're going on their honeymoon. Oh, let's see if we get free stuff. That's the story. I know, I got so much that is hilarious. Now we can more like. Well, he did, yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He did. So I decided I was making a friend and I was intimidated for your lesson. So Zach? No, he didn't. Oh, JJ, no. Zach would know that answer. Zach's still. Zach lives in Crofton now, and he looks after the video shop. So he helps them get programs. He's studied youth, and he's been doing a partial master's in social policy, but I think he's going to change that because he likes client-based areas. So well, you guys over. Oh, have you told something? Now we can all catch up. I mean, you can come here if you want to, but it tends to go to the
Yeah, my husband goes to
he doesn't. You know, he lives on the other side, so, you know, I'll get him here.
Lost a bit of motivation. But like, you know, it's I know it's not good.
Yeah, so it'll be cool and fun and exciting. I like started with creative TV, I did video and then design, and then switched into nursing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really dirty, right? When we moved here, it was either do a third grade again or skip it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be much closer to married and everything, so that's why I think I thought you were spiritually. And you have to see the amazing job that they did for their wedding. It is that their programs are ordination.
It's actually happening on this season.
So the yellow, there's a social media campaign at the moment.
Sorry,
You reached out to me on Sunday, so I'm looking. Thanks for the messages. And this is for I think you commented that I'm doing the stars and the moon. I'm going to be the grandmother of the youngest family. You have to commentate. It's going to be really good. So this it's now going to be at the Alexandria Monastery. Okay. And it's so every part is double cast. There's somebody who's intellectually challenged, and then someone who's a performer, but everyone's a performer. So the idea is to give people who don't typically have the experience. Anyway, the color of the sweatshirt of the stars and the moon is like trying to turn it yellow.
I'm chatting with.
And that's your stars and the moon.
Yeah.
And the taste is obviously for you too.
Coming up and I was just
Good on you.
anything that we can do.
I can't wait to tell them. Yeah. We'll go all the way. That's really That's amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay. Why is it?
So we do everything. Social media and so we've only made
Also remarkable. So, and you guys can come to the Shtiebel night?
I think someone's chanting in the beach.
So we have people having been ready for workshops. Months ago.
Gavin said when we saw songs, it's meant to be it's a process. We'll see how we go. Yeah, I think so. You're meant to laugh when I'm singing. So you'll feel like
So yeah, we all started.
reading horror comedy, yes.
It's a very interesting
That's why it's funny. Because at first I was going to do stand-up. I mean, you know. But there's a professional comedian.
Yeah.
I was going to do reading or monologue.
Matches everything
Somebody else is doing
that
it.
we do.
I actually will have a couple of props. It does.
Celebration.
I don't want to give anything away, but I was just asking, you went to school?
I went to school in Bendigo.
Oh, in Bendigo, so you were not from
Yeah.
No, you don't know. Is that a big shot?
Yeah, the architectural history of the language.
Yeah. That when I was going, I was going to say that. So I keep a running list of words. But I never heard about it, so I should have very good standard. Because it's on there. I very long years work. I just was like, it's just a little more fun. This is WPI. I'm like, what's wrong? So like, right? Yeah. But it's So the context, they